Good morning, everybody. Good to see some people already in here, which means we can get going. Welcome to the Hurley Investments Trade Findings and Adjustments of June 3rd. Pretty crazy morning. Seeing the market down so much, it's come back a bit, which is nice to see. Yeah, kind of ridiculous. We had amazing, or at least really positive jobs numbers come in, and which definitely coincides with things that we look at. It's kind of going over, this is everything I had from last time. As we've looked at market uncertainties, what affects things, employment recovery is one I highlighted as important. And we got a positive sign in that direction earlier this morning with the jobs numbers coming in. And kind of silly, I guess, is the best way to say it. Kind of silly to see the reaction in stock market, especially. Let's take a look at our NASDAQ. So just a correction, I guess not really a correction, just a testing of the 50-day there. Testing of a pivot point on this S&P. We can zoom in for you. S&P is now, I guess, positive from the open, but still negative from yesterday's close. All right, so what do I want to talk about today? Well, I kind of alluded to it, but waking up early this morning to see the futures down quite a lot. What do you think? What do you think someone like me who's managing some money, what do you think I should do? What would you do seeing the market down? I think it was as much as 200 points first thing in the morning, and seeing positive economic news in the form of jobs numbers. What would you do? William says, be patient and watch. William, you read my mind. Bill says, sit tight and watch what happens. Jim says, adhere to the current strategy, but may add other companies to portfolio. So good thoughts, guys. I think you nailed exactly what was in my frame of mind. And really the answer that I came up with and Kevin came up with as we texted back and forth early this morning So I'll say be patient as the market is being irrational. There's no reason why, you know, a couple weeks ago, I guess more like a month or so ago, when we had crappy jobs numbers and that affected the market negatively, why on earth positive numbers shouldn't cause the market to react positively? Why on earth would it do that? What do you think? What would cause an irrational guess it wasn't a irrational reaction to jobs news. It kind of was reacting before that. I think partly because market was really close to all-time highs again and needs to push past that level of resistance. So maybe I should phrase it a different way, my question here. So what would what is a good way to say this? Why would the market ignore good news that has been positive in the past? Maybe that's a good way to say it. Jim says world senses no current USA economic strategy for prosperity. I don't know, Jim. I think the rest of the world is concerned with how they recover from the whole pandemic, and I think it's positive for everybody seeing, or at least it should be positive for everybody seeing the USA recover thanks to vaccines and etc. I think my worry is, will the rest of the world recover in a way that allows them to buy our goods and services? But interesting thought. Bill says fear of inflation and Biden policies. I mean, could be. I guess what specifically has come out that would cause the market to ignore good news, which would be, I guess, good news for inflation, I guess. Bill, have you seen something that I'm missing? Bill says lack of people working while getting paid to stay home. Yeah, so that's definitely a huge concern. But I mean, again, we had good jobs numbers that told us that some more people are going back to work, thankfully. Certainly plugging millions and billions of dollars into the people out of work is disincentivizing and will certainly, obviously has slowed the pace of recovery on employment for sure. But I don't know, we have today good jobs numbers that at least help offset some of that and is certainly positive. So I'm not necessarily fishing for a right answer. Bill says, what percent of these jobs are Americans and not illegal aliens? That's not shown. I don't know, Bill. I don't think those jobs include illegal aliens. There's usually they're getting paid under the table, so to speak. So I don't think that includes them. So again, I'm not necessarily fishing for a right or wrong answer. So please don't think I'm working towards that. I guess I'm trying to give you guys an idea of what the process is that I kind of go through as I look at these things, and give you a chance to kind of go through that process too. So my feeling is I'll say the S&P reached close to I'll say moved close to all-time high to test all-time high again, and basically falling a bit from resistance level. I think that's definitely part of what's going on today. Jim says, while economy wants to grow, decisions on energy, war, pipelines, immigration, and spending can also lead concern in the longer run. Yeah, so I definitely think that definitely those are some concerns that the market has. I think rising energy prices are a concern because they affect inflation. So I guess Jim and Bill, I think you're definitely hitting on important and correct points that the market is reacting from in general over the last months. But I don't know, as we're just talking about just today, what is causing the market to ignore good news on everything. And maybe some of those points are definitely coming into play with why it's being ignored. But, you know, I kind of scratch my head and wonder why the hell we can't have a positive up day on good news. And it certainly seems like the market technically is, for today, is having issues getting above all-time highs. I think that the market is once again unsure of what to do about the whole meme stocks. So I'll say meme stocks creating uncertainty. And maybe to sum up with you guys, your comments, I think what you're kind of saying is maybe the negatives, the ongoing negatives are not enough. The ongoing negatives in our economy are not enough today to offset, or are too much today. I'll just say are enough today to offset a positive jobs report. So maybe all of those things together are playing their part. But as well, we kind of are bouncing off the lows. Not kind of, we're definitely bouncing off the lows. We're having some things come back. Baidu has been kind of crappy and not really bouncing yet. So definitely keep an eye on that as we're kind of seeing what's going on. I don't see any bad news for Baidu. So not sure what's behind that movement. Boeing was down much more. See, the low was 250 and was like closed at just above 255 yesterday, and we're at almost at 254. So I guess it pays to, definitely paid this morning to be patient. Maybe more for everything besides Baidu, but you know, Baidu is gonna Baidu. Yeah, all right. So some other news today, and this kind of goes into the meme stocks. AMC files to sell 11 million shares. The stock immediately tanks. So I guess there's two things here that I think might be happening. The first is funds and I guess hedge funds that are trying to short these stocks like AMC, GME, BlackBerry, some of these other ones that have had the whole meme craze. I think in the past, when this happened earlier in the year, and maybe what's happening today, is some funds are having to sell other positions and try and cover their shorts in AMC and GME, etc. And maybe not to a huge degree, obviously, because we see the market back recovering from this morning, right? The second thing I think might be happening is just the retail trading musical chairs. So stock goes up ridiculously, it's hard to value, it's overvalued, and then we get stories like today, AMC files to sell 1 million shares to stock tanks. Some of those things, these large swings and irrational movements, make the market nervous. Kind of what I'm saying over here. Bill says, I've been watching AMC, interesting to watch, not invest in. Saw hedge funds manipulate with shorts to drive price down. Look like any price of 40 or more may be death knell of hedge funds, but fun to watch. It is fun to watch. It's crazy. I mean, part of me is like, wow, good for these retail traders kind of organizing and sticking it to these hedge funds that, nobody feels bad for hedge funds. The other part of me is like, geez, these guys are going to get screwed. Like I said, it's a game of musical chairs where everybody gets on board and it goes up and it goes up. Shorts are having to get covered and it drives the price up again, or even more. And then people think, hey, this stock is up 100% in one day. I think it's time to get out. And everybody's trying to get out on a day like today, and some people are going to get stuck without a chair. Bill says SEC will favor hedges, not the Reddit group. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're trying to protect the retail investors, like, but freezing stock like they did, like, I guess that was more Robinhood freezing the GME, doesn't actually help. Maybe their intention was, I don't know. I can't say what the SEC is in their mind, I guess. I don't know. Not sure what to say there, Bill. All right, guys. Well, so interesting stuff. AMC Entertainment filed to sell 11 million shares of its stock. Shares of AMC turned negative in pre-market trading on the news, giving up a big gain. I guess this is the kind of risk that you take investing in these, where then it drives up so quick that AMC looks at it and says, all right, well, why don't we profit from this and help ourselves out and sell this stock? It's kind of ironic. These retail traders, Reddit traders, are helping the stock of this company, and the company is basically saying, oh, well, thank you very much. We will take that and we'll run with it. I hope you guys see, I guess you definitely see, because of based on your comments, why we're not chasing this kind of stuff. It just, I don't know, it makes me feel bad when people get screwed, but I don't know. It's not like people aren't warned. Micron, Ford, these were the two trades I submitted last time that I thought were good. Just to follow up, where's Ford was up above 15 today, and it's soaring up to almost $16. So that looks fantastic. If you need to take a profit somewhere, that might be the place to do it. If you're happy with your profit on a forward trade, you could certainly take some profit there because you're not going to go broke taking a profit. I would think though the run is up to 1750 to previous price levels. And I'm getting the call from Kevin Hurley. I'll tell Kevin I'm going to talk to him later. All right, Micron. So Micron is following the way of the tech stocks in general. So it was probably looking good earlier in the week from last week, not necessarily today. See, when I took that screenshot, Micron was at 84. So it's at just under 83 today. So days like this, thank goodness we have until January 23. We're really looking for Micron to get back up to $95, $96. We're seeing if it doesn't pass that resistance point and get up to 100 or so. We're really looking to see if Micron, how we can benefit from the government spending money on our chip stock companies like Micron, Intel, to get them more competitive with the other chip stocks from other countries, other places. And that's really all I had for you. I don't have a trade for you this morning. If you had those two, the Micron, the Ford, I think they're worth hanging on to, or if you're happy with Ford, then take some profit. Any other thoughts or questions? Thank you guys so much for all of the comment action this morning. Some good comments and thoughts from both Jim and Bill. Anything you guys might be concerned about or want me to take a look at? Doesn't look like anything's coming over. Guys, thanks so much for joining me this morning. Oh, we got one. Ida says, how long will the honeymoon with Ford last? Honeymoon with Ford, you mean why the market is showing some Ford love? It seems like right now, Ida, anything that talks about electric vehicles or plans to make electric vehicles is just taking off and doing quite well. And I think we're running with that good positive market feeling on Ford right now. Have no clue how long it will last, but I do think it will be the next stopping place we'll look for is 1750. So at that point, we might look to protect some profit. We do have some resistance at an R1 pivot point here, but again, I think longer term we're looking at seeing where it gets to, up to 1750. Thanks, Jim. No problem. Thanks, Ida. Thanks, Bill. I saw the other Jim in here earlier. I guess he took off. So thank you guys. And if there's no other thoughts or questions or comments, that does it for me. And look forward to being with you guys as Kevin goes over things this coming Monday for our market commentary. Appreciate it and have a good weekend.